When this is all over, I am going to kill you.
I understand.
All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to Real Time for the Real Everyday Movie Fan. I'm, of course, Josh Williams. Thank you so much for joining me here today, because I am here to give you my real-time review of Terminator Dark Fate. Now, Terminator Dark Fate was directed by Tim Miller, and it stars Natalia Reyes, Mackenzie Davis, Gabriel Luna, Linda Hamilton reprising her role as Sarah Connor, and, of course, Arnold Schwarzenegger playing a Terminator. Now, coming into this movie, I was afraid it was going to be a dumpster fire because the trailers did not make it look too great. I mean, I was happy to see Linda Hamilton's back. I was really scratching my head on why another T-800 is back in time. So it really just kind of threw me off, especially now that there's going to be someone new as the person to save. I don't know how everything was going to turn about. And I read the synopsis, and then Ryan read the synopsis, and we were both just like, oh boy. So I was apprehensive going into it. I can walk out saying it was good. It was good and tentatively good. Tentatively could be better given what could possibly happen in the future. But there was quite a few things I didn't like about it. We'll talk about it here in a minute. But before we do, guys, please be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you receive more of our various content in the future. Got that one out of the way. And also wanted to, guys, let you know that this review and video is sponsored by B&B Missouri 6 Theaters. So let's give a little brief promotional video about them and talk about their theater. Then we'll jump right back into the review. I'll be right back. B&B Missouri 6 is the premier theater to see a movie if you're in the Missouri area. The refreshments are delicious, the seats give you full reclining comfort, and the movie viewing experience is euphoric. But the main reason I wanted B&B to be my sponsor is their staff and the overall movie-going experience they provide. They're professional, friendly, inviting, and they truly have you leaving the theater feeling, as their motto goes, the magic of the movies. All right, guys, thank you so much for bearing with me, giving you guys the shout-outs to the theater who's sponsoring me and also just promoting the channel. Hope you guys like, subscribe, comment about the review, tell me what you think so we can continue talking about movies. So let's just jump right into the review. So a lot of people who are hardcore fans of T2. Hey, I forgot my light. Light's important. Coming into T2, it made me... Like I said, it made me apprehensive because people who are fans of it just love it. Ryan is a diehard Terminator fan, especially of T1 and T2, especially T2. He thinks it's a perfect film, which I do too as well. We like to say sometimes, you just don't make them like that anymore. So I guess the bar is still very high because when you got movies like Terminator 3 and then you had Terminator Salvation, which I personally like. I actually, one of the very few actually really enjoy that movie. Really like what they were going for. And then you had Terminator Genesis. Ooh, that's all I'm going to say there. So coming into this, people were wondering what's going on. And then James Cameron came back and all this. So people were excited about that. Then they saw trailers and some people like me. Some people were excited. But people like me were just really apprehensive because something was off. I can say I walked out having a good time. Some things narratively didn't make sense. I'm giving this movie a 6.5 out of 10, possibly a 7. I may have to see it one more time because I really went in with, the critique hat on, really going in there. And I think I think some people, especially me, thinking back on it, I think I critiqued it sometimes a little harshly. Sometimes it was obvious that things were wrong, narratively speaking, dialogue speaking, things that certain people said at certain times, and so forth. But I think I really did was like, T2 is so amazing that nothing else can be greater. And I think I may have critiqued it sometime a little bit harsher, looking back, a few hours ago when I saw it. But because after I think about it more and more, there's certain things I really did enjoy. But still, it doesn't give away that there's certain things wrong. But let's talk about the positives first. Some of the things I really liked was the cast. Having Linda Hamilton back really gave it something that it was that the other films were missing. Just that kind of anchor who really came from the original, and she's still such a badass in this movie. I loved it, and she really did give it her all, acting wise, performance wise. She really brought back the feeling of the character, the veracity and the passion behind her, and I really love to have her back. And also, Mackenzie Davis is awesome in this movie. She is such a great actress, up-and-coming actress. She has been in some really good movies. She was in The Martian. She was in, what was that one? Sorry, guys. There was one I really want to talk about. I can't remember what it was off the top of my head. I'll have it right here in just about 2 seconds. Blade Runner 2049, that's where it was. And she was also in Tully, where she was really great in that movie. She was so fantastic. And she's also in an episode of Black Mirror, which is probably my favorite episode, San Junipero. She was great in that as well. So I was glad to see she was in a big budget film like this. And she did bring her A game. Her acting chops were still there. And her action scenes were phenomenal. I mean, she was awesome in this movie. So I was really glad to see her in this. And she really brought kind of a new dynamic into the film. Because people were actually wondering whether she was a machine or a human. And I really don't get too much away there. Because I don't think the trailers really talk about it much. But I will say the explanation they give I liked it and I was okay with it, and how and the toll it can take on her body and things like that, on her herself. I liked it. I'll just say that I liked the explanation there, the whole backstory there. I really thought it was thought out, so that part was good. And having Arnold Schwarzenegger back, he was cool. He's a Terminator. He does his moments. I will say this. There are moments, this is one of the parts I didn't like. There were moments where he had some comedic elements that did not work. I actually hated every single comedic element that was in this film. And it mostly had to do with the T-800, Arnold Schwarzenegger's Terminator. Now, yes, there were comedic moments in T2, but they were organic because he was a machine trying to be with humans. Whereas this one, I don't want to give it away, but this one, there's just comedic moments where I couldn't get behind them. I will say that they were ill-reasoned, ill-timed, honestly, given certain circumstances within the film, where like they were kind of in a rush. They were kind of, let's say, up against the wall basically, and they were pressed against time to defeat this new Terminator. So just ill-timed moments like that, comedic elements that I didn't really like. And that was one of the other things too, as far as narrative-wise. There were some moments, I can't get into specifics. The majority of things I didn't like, I can't give in specifics as spoilers, but I will kind of briefly talk about it. Narrative-wise, there were moments where they would explain why certain things are the way they are now compared to what they were like before, and certain reasons why that Terminator is there. There's always like one-line reasonings that they gave you the one line of why it is what it is, and that's it. They didn't really dive deep into the meat of that, and that's something I just couldn't buy. I was like, that's more of like a cop-out where you're just kind of like, glossing over it and just move on. And that's good and all, but if you're trying to introduce fans into this new restructuring of the Terminator world, you got to give us a lot of meat here to really help us thrust forward and accept what's going on. Now, for the most part, for I'd say 60%, I'm okay with everything what they gave us, but there's a lot of things that they just glossed over, and I didn't like it. And other than that, like there's ill-timed dialogue moments when they're really obviously rushing to run away from this character, and there would be like moments of dialogue that are just like moments like time stopped and they just kind of talked about things, and it's like, come on, you're running from this Terminator. There's no time to be talking about this. That's just ill-timed dialogue moments that took away from the suspense of their run. They need to run away and get away from this character, which they could have saved for later on in the film to when there's obviously going to be downtime to talk about these things. And they did do that sometimes, but there's just other moments in the beginning that they did that. But overall, guys, I can still recommend you check it out. Now, people may ask me, is it better than, Terminator 3, or Terminator Salvation, or Terminator Genesis? I will say, is it better? It will say, yes. For now, no. And yes. Like, Definitely better than Terminator 3. Terminator Salvation, I'm still on the fence whether it's better or not. And then leaps and bounds better than Genesis. I mean, Genesis was the bane of existence, kind of like Age of Extinction is to the Transformers franchise. So I will say it's a step in the right direction. I will see what the next installment gives. Like I said, it's good. It's enjoyable. It had great action, great suspenseful action. There are actually moments where I was on the edge of my seat. That's a good thing. But I'm glad it's definitely in the step in the right direction. So hopefully we can maybe get the franchise back on track. We will see. Like I said, this is at least a good first step. But that'll do it for me today, folks. Thank you very much for watching. What did you think of Terminator Dark Fate? Sorry, ran out of breath there. What did you think of Dark Fate? Leave your comments in the section below. Let me know whether you liked it or not. Give me your positive, negatives, and score out of 10. Also, if you like what you watched, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel so you can receive more of our various content in the future. Also, like us on Facebook, Twitter, and Stardust. The links are in the description below, as always. That's all I have for today. Again, I'm Josh Williams, and thank you for keeping it real with Real Time.